But
Shut up. This is Ryan.
This is Jordan.
Okay, take 2. Let's try that again.
Oh, I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready yet.
I'm not worthy.
Oh, this is Ryan,
This is Jordan.
and you're listening to HackMyStuff.com podcast episode 4. Okay.
You're intimidating, Ryan.
I am. I'm a tough guy. So, thanks for joining us again this week. We're going to try and crank this one out relatively quick. It's just Jordan and I today. Not a whole lot going on news-wise. We're going to probably spend most of the time talking about new releases and video games as opposed to actual hacks and mods that you can do on those particular systems. In any case, as always, we're going to start off with FTA news, and as has been the case recently, there is nothing new to report. Everybody should be up and running absolutely fine. I'm going to say again that hopefully right away here I will be getting some tutorials posted up for those people that are having some issues with whether it's pointing a dish, or I've been getting a lot of people calling and asking me about how to edit files, etc. for duplicate channels between Bell Express View and Dish Network and things like that. So I will get those up and posted as soon as available, as soon as time permits. Okay, so moving on from there, not a whole lot, Jordan. This is where this is where editing comes in.
Nope. One ride. Keep going.
Yeah, we're just gonna do this in one shot, eh?
No, we need more news.
Yeah, we will. 360 news. Cut. Paste. Okay.
I can never get used to using your computer because you have it in a 4:3 resolution on a 16:9 screen, and that would.
No, I do. Well, it depends on how I'm running it, because a lot of times my resolution has to output to that. Yeah, and
even the TV should be 16:9, shouldn't it?
Well, it's 16:9, but it only supports a resolution. It does like 1280 by 720. Yeah, and I'm always messing around with the resolutions so that the kids can watch things from the computer to the TV. You doing a little dance? Yeah. Okay. So 360 wise, not a lot going on in that respect either. I'm still waiting on the version of the iExtreme firmware for my DVD player, or my DVD-ROM for the 360 to get back on Xbox Live, hopefully, and or just fix a few minor issues. But other than that, everybody should be, single-player-wise, if anybody's running modified firmware, should be running smooth as pie. Smooth as pie, because that's a very common expression, eh? Smooth as pie. Pie is very smooth.
Hey, pumpkin pie can be pretty smooth.
Sort of like a cream pie. Cream pies are smooth. I like pie.
Hey, whatever, cake's totally better than pie.
Yeah, that's arguable. In any case, go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, another 360 news. Actually, it turns out Microsoft, it's not really surprising, but they're bringing back the Bringing It Home campaign for E3, which means during E3 you'll have all your, like not a big chunk of the demos from E3, but some of the bigger names will have demos of them. You'll have new trailers, you'll have new videos from all your games right onto Xbox Live. So for those of you who don't have modded hardware and have Xbox Live working, unlike Ryan, you can download flashy new demos and trailers of all your favorite games that are at E3.
I'll pick them up in magazines.
Or I mean, 2 months later when they're out, because E3 is late this year.
Well, what about? I know people that have multiple machines.
Yeah,
they can take
if you want to spend that money.
Well, you can spend it on a core machine and just move the hard drive from one machine to the other. If you really, really, really want to play the demo of some game that's, well, I guess there was.
I can't afford.
Wait a minute. In retrospect, yeah, I guess there were a lot of people that really, really wanted to play the demo of the Halo 3. So there is a large market out there for people that, want to play demos desperately. But for me right now, I can't see anything unless they announce something like just earth-shattering. I can't see them coming out with any trailer or demo that I, absolutely have to have.
Single-player Halo 3 demo.
Really?
Well, not officially. I'm just throwing that out there. What about a Blue Dragon demo? I would love.
Nah.
Well, Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time. So.
Yeah, queer.
We'll save that for later. Maybe in another podcast.
Yeah, Blue Dragon. I don't know. again, aversion to Wii's and RPGs in general. I'm not a big. Is
I
Blue
like, I like,
Dragon
how- I like
real
you put
time
Wii's
or
and RPGs. It was like not even an RPG on the Wii.
no? I just mean I have an aversion to them, generally speaking.
The kiddie stuff. That is what you're all. You hated Wind Waker, didn't you?
No, I liked Wind Waker.
I didn't play that much, but I actually should have.
I bought a GameCube for that game.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. That was I bought a used GameCube and Wind Waker.
Are you gonna buy a DS for Phantom Hourglass?
Doubtful.
Oh, that game looks so awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I have been thinking about picking up a Wii of late, though.
You should pick one up and then give it to me because of what happened to mine, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah, when we actually get to the Wii section.
I got a little bit of a rant issue.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening, stay tuned to Jordan. Listen to Jordan's rant regarding his Wii. That, from the sounds of it, it's kind of gone kaput, or not kaput, but
Well,
having
it's
some
playable,
issues.
but not really.
Well, we'll talk about that shortly. Getting back to 360 News and Microsoft, etc. with regarding E3, when is E3 this year? It's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, a week and a half or something, I think.
Okay.
You know, E3 for me every year, I always get hyped up or whatever to watch it, and then like I completely forget about I think this happened a couple years ago where you were like, "Hey, have you seen all this stuff?" I'm like, "Where are you getting all this?" And you were like, "Dude, E3," and I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, "What? E3 is happening?" Oh, I didn't even realize.
I think it was over at the time actually. That was a couple years ago. And
I had a lot of catching up to do those last couple days.
I'm like, dude, E3, man, and you're like, oh, whoops. I thought that was next month.
It's somehow always like not like it's always just like, oh, I know what's coming, and I forget about it. Like it's always like the 2 or 3 days that I just like happen to not go on the internet somehow.
Well, and last year too was the last year that I don't think this year we're going to see anything like we had in the past with live net broadcast.
Oh, well, they're
press conferences and stuff like that.
They've guaranteed the conferences are going to be almost exactly the same.
Oh, really?
They have their own like arena and stuff like that. They're all ready for it.
They being like all the major players.
There's actually going to be more press conferences. It's going to be a ton because all the big 3 players are all going to have their own press conferences. Same as every other year. They said they're going to be just as big, just as news filled. And then like they have every single hour for an hour each. Like all the small companies, Konami, Capcom, Sega. Like all those companies, they're gonna have their own little slots for their own. I forgot what they're called. Press conferences. Those things. So the only thing is they're all gonna have their spaces. Like they're all gonna have this is your allotted time, but they don't. I don't think they have to use them because if you're like, I don't know, Sega, are you gonna spend an hour talking about Sonic?
Yes, they will.
But wouldn't Microsoft have covered that and Sony have covered that and Nintendo have covered that in their press conferences and it'd just be redundant?
I don't know.
Because that's where they save all the big announcements for. I guess there might be more gameplay of the games.
Well, I think Sony and Microsoft this year are going to hammer home first-party exclusives. Both companies are going to really hammer that home. They're not going to be spending too much time talking about,
well,
with the exception of Sony and some of their third-party exclusives.
I think Microsoft's biggest strength is their third-party support. Because right now they're the only company that has a ton of third-party support, which is, what won Sony the last console wars was. Mm-hmm. That you can get everything on their system plus the first party stuff.
Exactly.
And now it seems like, well, if the new news that all the new football games run worse on PS3, it means it might even run better because it's the lead platform.
Yeah, which is true.
If you have everything plus it runs better,